there are a few different ways that you can get your sprite to move in Scratch. Before learning how to move your sprite, it's important to understand the invisible grid. In order to explain the grid, I'm going to change the backdrop from a blank white to the XY axis. You'll notice that on your stage area you have an invisible X and Y axis. The X axis goes from negative 240 to 0 to 240. The Y axis goes from negative 180 up to 0 in the middle up to positive 180. So the first way that we're going to learn how to move our sprite is using steps. So let's put our sprite right here. The x-axis is about 0. If you move over to your Tools palette, under the Motion menu, you'll see the Move 10 Steps. I'm going to move this over to my Scripts area. So if I double-click this tool, the Move 10 Steps command, my sprite should move 10 steps, positive 10. Now you'll notice that 10 steps is actually pretty small, because if this is 0 and this is 100, 10 steps should just get me to about here. So let's try it out. I'm just going to double click right on here, the command for it to move. There it is. That was about 10 steps. If I do it again, it's another 10, another 10. So moving 10 positive steps moves my sprite forward to the right. What if I want to make my sprite move to the left? Well, if I change this to negative 10, let's see what that'll do. There it is. Now let's say I want to get my sprite to jump from here all the way to here. It's about 100 steps, right? So let's see, if I change this to 100 and double click, let's see if that'll work. There you go. So why don't you take a couple minutes and try out the move block. Okay, the next way that we're going to learn how to move our sprite is using exact coordinates. So I'm going to get rid of my move block. Let's say I want my sprite, let's say it starts here, and I want our little cat, Scratch Cat, to end up right where the mouse is right here. How do I get my sprite to go exactly to this point? Well, if you look on the bottom right, you have the exact coordinates written out for you. So if I move my cursor, my mouse, right to this spot, you'll see that exactly at this spot the coordinates are x is 99 and y is 101. So remember those numbers, 99 and 101. So there is a block in here, the go to block. If you move this over to your scripts area, you change this to 99 and 101. So if I double click on this, this should take my sprite exactly to that location. Let's try it out. Perfect. It doesn't matter where your sprite is originally. If you double click it, it'll go to that point. You can even go into one of your negative values. So negative 199 and negative 100. So let's try it out. Negative 199 and negative 100. So let's see if that'll take us to this area right here. Perfect. So why don't you pause the video and take about a minute to try that out. Okay, the third method of moving your sprite is using the glide block. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this block and move in the glide block. Again, it's under the motion menu, so I'll move this over. And you'll notice that the glide block also has exact coordinates, but it also has a second value. So let me show you how this works. So let's say our sprite is right here. We want our cat to end up right about here, which is 99 and negative 47. So I'm going to put those values in. My x value is 99, My y value is negative 147. So what this means is that our scratch cat, is going to move from here to this value down here, and it will take him about 1 second. So that's pretty quick. So let's try it out. And you'll see that it'll actually glide. So that was a pretty quick move. So how can we slow him down? Well, if it takes 1 second to go from here to here, and you saw what his speed was, if we want him to go a little bit slower, it should probably take him longer. So let's try 3 seconds. And let's double click. There you go. What if I want our scratch cat to go back up here? Again, the coordinates are about negative 100 and 140. So negative 100 and 140, and I want him to go very slow, so 5 seconds. Let's try that out. Perfect. So why don't you go ahead and give this block a try as well.